This extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move.
Strictly professional.
Oh, he's a man. He had a beard.
Private man. Try anything once.
The safe word will be whiskey.
Try.
Spell red.
L-S-T-E-R.
Would you like a sweetie?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everything that goes up must come down.
Day bow bow. Ch chicka chicka. Day bow bow. Ooh yeah. Day bow bow. Ch chicka chicka. Day bow bow. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th episode of Fry My Brain Cells. I'm your host, your boy, Seany Andrews, and welcome to the 6th episode. Thanks to everyone who has watched continuously so far. Really appreciate it. If this is your first time watching the show, which is highly unlikely, welcome to the 6th episode. Thanks very much for tuning in. I feel like I should reiterate, if that's a word. I feel like I should say again that if this is your first time watching the show and you're easily offended, I would suggest watch something else because you're not going to have a fun time. I say some outrageous stuff on the show, not too much of it. But if you do continue to watch the show and you are easily offended, number one, I do hope you enjoy the show. I'm not out to... my aim is not to go out there and offend people. This is just jokes. It's just goofs and gaffs. Goofs and gaffs equal laughs. I don't really care about people's opinions, to be honest. If you are offended and you want to message me, like I said before, I don't give a shit. There's no need for me to give a shit if you're offended. I've made the warning, and I'm going to come up with some phrase at the start of the show, just like my introduction, to kind of curtail that to people that this is not for people who are easily offended. There's just no point for you watching it. You're just going to end up upset. Even though that's not my aim to offend you, and if you are easily offended and you just want to continue watching the show just to watch the show, even if you do come out of it going, I feel like I need to message him. Tell him what he said was so wrong. You're not going to get an apology, bitch. Well, look, I'm not here to hurt people's feelings. If you feel like I have, what can I do about it? It's not my aim. It's just jokes. Everything not to be taken too seriously. I know there's like Virgin News segment and stuff like that. It's not even a serious segment. It's just sometimes I do talk in a less comedic way. But I do... that segment is still a silly fucking segment. It's just a silly podcast. Don't be getting offended over dumbass like me. If you see my leave insert results, like I've said before, you really would not be offended by me. I'm not an intelligent dude. If I'm causing outrage, well, so be it. I was about to say something so awful there, and I skipped it. Okay, so moving into the show, I'm going to give the results for last week's segment for Yanks Acting the Wank. It was a landslide victory for you accuser of fucking brethren, motherfucker. Congratulations to that lady, and I wish her all the best of luck on her WWE title reign. Yeah, so the accuser won. I really like that segment. I think it's that and Junkies Making the Monkeys is definitely up there for me. Don't know which one I prefer. I think the Junkies still make the best content. It's just the easiest content ever. But I really enjoy doing Yanks Acting the Wank. Myself personally, I love doing voices for for the people and impersonating them. I find it fun to do that shit. That's why I like breaking it up with the pain game as well, because it's not only just fresh for ye, but it's fresh for me as well. It gives me time to find new content for ye that I can, like, I'll watch the video and have the voice in my head ready for the show. In saying that, I don't watch the videos too much before it, because I think that takes away the authenticity. Oh, God. Oh. It's as if English is my second language. Or maybe third and fourth. It's like it's like the reverse of when you go to school and you have to do English, you have to do Irish, and then you can choose between French and German. But it's as if, like, because you know the way in some schools, in my school you couldn't do it, but you could add on Latin, or you could add on Spanish, or you could add on fucking Chinese, Japanese, whatever you wanted. But it's as if I've added on English to my vocabulary. But yeah, I don't watch the videos too often, or too much, before the show. I'll watch it once or twice a week before, maybe 2 weeks before. And it's mainly because I wanted to be more authentic on camera. And you can kind of see me making up stuff as I'm watching it. And I think that makes it for funnier content, especially for a podcast. Because if I was just like pre-rendering stuff and having it ready for the show and just knocking it out of the park, it'd be more like just a YouTube React video, and I don't really want that. I want it to be more of a podcast and more off the cuff. It also it puts me in a fight or flight kind of mode myself. Like my aim for this podcast is to be able to work on doing comedy, so that eventually that I know how to, or eventually I know what's funny, so I can piece together my own jokes and then get that confidence to go up on stage and do open mics and stuff like that, because that is eventually my goal. I know a lot of people, even some of my friends, they're watching this shit and they're like, come on, dude. What are you doing? This is not funny whatsoever. And then there's some of my mates who think it's the funniest shit ever. And then there's some people who I haven't talked to in fucking years who are messaging me going, this shit is fire, I'm delighted you've done it and stuff. So I think personally for me, I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm not going to be every one of my friends' cup of tea either. But I'm just going to roll with the punches and try and do what's best for what I want to do. My aim is not to be fucking Kevin Hart and be like a multi-millionaire comedian or anything. I want to just eventually make a living off it, a small living off it. So doing this type of stuff is brilliant practice, and I think doing stuff off the cuff is really what's going to make me stronger as a comedian going down the line. I still have the right jokes and stuff like that. I haven't gotten into that yet. But that's all down the line. I know I've said on previous podcasts that I want to do reviews. It is still something I want to do. It's just finding the time to do stuff with this podcast is kind of difficult, because the main reason why it's difficult is because it takes a long time to do all this stuff by yourself. And it's not even like the hardest work editing it and stuff like that, because it's not complicated editing. It's just waiting for renders and exports and stuff like that. It takes a tremendous amount of time. Even downloading the 4K footage to the laptop takes like fucking 2 hours alone. So it's a time consuming thing. Also, I have to like time my renders and exports, like to export like the final edit normally takes around 8 hours. So I have to time that in a way that I can turn off the laptop before I go to bed. So like the export has to be done before then. because I don't want to run it all night and shit like that. But look, I'm just explaining that all those type of stuff like reviews and stuff, that's going to be a lot further down the line than I thought. Just because I need to. That's probably something when I have someone hired to the podcast, if you get me. Like if I have an editor who can even just like render out all the stuff. But it's going to take some time. I need to get enough views. I need to get enough likes. And I need to get enough stuff so I can start making money off this stuff. But that's all. Rome wasn't built in a day kind of stuff. And it's going to... it's going to be... it's going to take its time. But I think it will be something that'll have a big payoff. Because I'm really happy doing this stuff. This stuff is... It's kind of my niche, I think. Especially talking about the Virgin News segment. It's not everyone's cup of tea because a lot of my friends wouldn't be interested in that stuff. But like my target audience isn't just my friends. It's the people who are interested in that stuff, and I see this podcast growing out to more people who like that nerdy segment. Because like when you listen to Bill Burr, you'll get comedy off Bill Burr, and I'm not a sports guy whatsoever. Just don't get it. Like, UFC is my thing. That's pretty much it. But when it comes to, like, even though I was wearing a Boston Red Sox hat and I have a Boston Red Sox jersey, I have a New England Patriots jersey, I have a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. It's because I like them, and I like those states. But I don't understand the sports stuff he talks about in his podcast. But it's one of my favorite podcasts because the way he explains and the funny side of it, when he's getting mad at his teams losing and stuff like that, that's his kind of niche. When you listen to Brendan Schaub, it's the same thing. He is the UFC aspect of it. Even on Fighting the Kid, which is a more like a current events type show, he still has his niche of fighting. Be it boxing, UFC, whatever. So I need to find my niche with this show, and I think the nerd aspect of it is my niche. It's the stuff I know the most about, especially when it comes to movies. I am a dorkazoid when it comes to all that shit. So, moving on with the show. The Pain Game is back this summer. The Pain Game. I think this is like the third Pain Game. The clips I have today are so weird. They're not as visceral as the last time. I think how visceral they were off-putting, which is fair enough. I love the psychopath aspect of it, where it's just incredibly violent and I can't stop laughing. But this next clip I'm going to show you, it makes no sense to me. It's so stupid. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I suppose it's probably cheaper than condoms, and that joke will not land until you see the opening of this video. Hi! 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 Brick to the dick! He's thrusting his dick into that kick. Why do you need a ram to fuck up your nuts? These boys are taking beating your meat to a next level. They're pounding it into a fucking Krabby Patty. What the fuck, dude? Like, what is this for? I can understand, yeah, you could probably working on defending. I don't know if you're in a fight and somebody wants to kick you in the nuts. But this is my favorite thing about these, like, monks and these fucking kung fu dudes. They've never been in a street fight ever. Ever. Like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee has never been in a street fight. He's only been in movie fights. Pretend fights. I must prepare in case somebody kicks me in the nuts. Why? Are you gonna go out fighting in the street? 60-year-old man? You're not that guy, man. Why do you need to pound your balls into oblivion? Hi! 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 His arm is doing a full 360. Here, lads, going down to town square there. You want to meet me there and we all just, like, beat the shit out of our fucking nuts? Yeah, be there in 2 seconds. Man, trusting down into the kick. How much do you hate yourself? Has your family brought dishonor or some shit that you can't have any more kids? What the fuck? The ram is ridiculous. What are you trying to prove? I have nothing downstairs. But maybe they have, like, I don't know, balls of ball martial arts. Like, maybe their balls have skills. That you're in a fight and you're just like this. And you're ducking and... Excuse me. You're weaving and you're ducking. And then out of nowhere you get uppercutted by one of his testicles. They're conditioning their balls to throw uppercuts. And then their dick wraps around your neck and starts strangling you. Just imagine Bruce Lee doing nunchucks with his own dick. Hits it off a pole, he doesn't feel it. The guy in the blue runs towards your man's dick. Man. Kung Fu Panda at the fucking end, eviscerating his nuts. Oh, the old dude's my favourite. The old dude is my favourite. The wind up into it is fucking fantastic. I have to find out what this is about. This just makes no sense to me. And like, look at the builds of the dudes. They're not the most physically... What's the word? Not the most fucking built dudes on the planet. They don't look like athletes. I think one guy looked like he was in his 30s. The rest of them are 50 and up. So what fight are they training for? Because in Kung Fu, they don't really have that much competitions either. Karate, they do. But Kung Fu, no. What is this? Or maybe it's like that episode in South Park. Where they all tried to get cancer in their nuts. So they can bounce on them. No, I'm going back to my first statement where I think that they're literally doing this just to have extra weapons. Imagine how confusing that would be if you were in a fight and just out of nowhere, your man jumps in the air and he spins around. You're expecting the foot to come, so you dodge underneath his foot, and out of nowhere, with douche, you hit with his cock in the face like that, and then the balls, like two little jabs. Hey! And his dick gets you in an armbar. Oh, right. The next one, short and sweet. I'm having to dribble all down myself again. That's the second episode in a row. I'll dribble the face. Next one, I have no idea what this guy's doing, but thank you for doing it.
Evil Knievel, baby. Moved up 2019.
Evil Knievel, baby. Pool jump 2019. The day I got paralyzed. The American shorts. Hoorah, baby. Hoorah. Oh. Evil Knievel on the smallest paddling pool I've ever seen in my life. Was it worth it? Yes, it was.
Evil Knievel, baby. Moved up 2019.
America, fuck yeah. Evil Knievel, baby. Pool jump 2019. USA, USA.
Evil Knievel, baby. Moved up 2019.
2000, forgot the date, 19. Gonna break my back. Man, he hits his pelvis off the side of the car so fucking hard. So hard. Wonder if you can hear a crack.
Evil Knievel, baby. Moved up 2019.
Pool jump 2019. Gonna drink through a straw. Ma'am, your son is going to need Siri to speak for him for the rest of his life. Evil Knievel. Pool jump 2019.
Evil Knievel, baby. Moved up 2019.
2019. Fuck yeah, bruh. Obviously, he's not paralyzed. I'd say the most he got there was like a cracked hip or something. His NHL day. I'm paralyzed. Whatever about that guy. I'm paralyzed. Now, this last dude, he's going to be... I found another guy who's definitely going to be popping up on the show every now and again. His name on YouTube is Superhuman. Oh, I need to go into context as well. So, this guy talks about the juggalos and juggalettes and goes whoop whoop. If anyone doesn't know who the juggalos and juggalettes... Jesus Christ. Juggalette... Oh... Juggalette. Sound like I was drowning. The juggalos and juggalettes are basically... they're fans of the Insane Clown Posse. And I don't know if anyone knows who the Insane Clown Posse are. They're a rap duo who were famous in like the early 2000s, early 90s, or late 90s, early. How can you be famous in the early 90s, early 2000s? It's such a large margin. It's a decade. But they're majorly famous for the early 2000s. They have a thing called the Juggalo Festival, and it's just all these weird Mountain Dew loving bastards meet up with one another, paint their faces black and white, and they all smoke meth together, and they just do the weirdest shit. I actually, if you have time, I can't show a lot of the content on this show because I will definitely get demonetized and the channel deleted. But go onto YouTube and search in the Juggalo Festival, and you will just find the most bizarre group of people in your entire life. It's just the weirdest shit ever. The duo are famous for a really bad song called Fire and Water or something like that, where they go water, fire, magnets. How the fuck do they work? Like, is this so funny?
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
So now you see how fucking retarded those guys are. This guy is a fucking hero, though. I know I mentioned WWE last week, and that's exactly what this guy wants to be. He wants to be in WWE. I actually think, because I seen something on his Twitter, because I was doing a little bit of research on this dude. He met up with some people from All Elite Wrestling, which is like one of the new brands of wrestling. And it's like some people like Chris Jericho. That he was pretty much the only one I remembered when I looked up the picture of the roster. And this is what this guy wants to do, and I think he took a picture with them. It was on their YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel for it as well. Fair fucks to him. He's got to where he wanted to be. This guy is me 5 years ago, or he is me. He's me when I'm 16 for definite, or he is me when this all goes to shit. Because this is the stuff I'm going to do. 100%. This is what I'm going to do.
This is Superhuman TV Show, and today I'll be doing a full flip onto gusset plates, cheese.
I'll do some translation after the first viewing of the video. He's very hard to understand.
Square barbed wire chairs. This is for juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it. Whoop whoop!
I love it, dude.
Fuck this shit!
Shit!
Ah, shit! Fuck! Fuck! My back! God damn it! Fucking cut it!
He's fucking crying.
This is Superhuman TV Show, and today I'll be doing a full flip onto gusset plates, cheese square, barbed wire chairs. This is for juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it. Whoop whoop!
Let the Wolverine out, baby.
Fuck this shit! Whoop whoop! Shit! Fuck! Fuck! My back! God damn it! Fucking cut it!
Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna try and pause myself here. I'm gonna try and translate what he says to you people.
This is Superhuman TV Show, and today I'll be doing a full flip onto
This is Superhuman YouTube channel. Okay, so this is Superhuman's YouTube channel.
gusset plates, cheese square, barbed wire chairs.
I'll bring it back because I missed a word or two there.
Gusset plates, cheese square, barbed wire chairs. This is for juggalos and juggalettes. Do not
Today I'm going to be doing a front flip onto gusset plates. I don't know what a gusset plate is. I think he made up a word. It could be an American term for something. Because the only thing I'm seeing there is cheese graters, barbed wire, and 4 chairs. So I have no idea what a gusset plate is.
wire chairs. This is for juggalos and juggalettes. Do not
This is for the juggalos and juggalettes.
try this at home, and I hope you like it. Whoop, whoop,
We love it. We love it, dude.
whoop. Ah, ah, ah.
Imagine these pop claws there. This guy's got the same build as me. He's got the same stupid hair. Same beard. Just different colour. But we don't see colours on this show. But he's even got the same dress sense. Camo shorts. And a stupid t-shirt with some picture of some person that he likes.
Fuck
This shit!
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop whoop! Sounds like a car horn. Whoop whoop! Sorry, didn't see you coming. Whoop whoop!
Ah, shit! Fuck! Fuck! My back! God damn it! Fucking cut it!
Fucking cut it! Oh, I wish they didn't cut it. I wanted so more of that. So more of that. So much more of that. Just listen to the pain in his voice. Sounds like a rabbit. This is Superhuman Super Show.
Superhuman TV show, and today I'll be doing a full flip onto gusset plates, cheese grater, barbed
Gusset
wire
plates.
chairs. This is for
Chain plates.
juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope
I just
you like
fucked it up.
Whoop,
I told you, I am this guy.
Ah, ah.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. Trust me, I am that fucking guy. When I was 16, I used to do this type of shit all the time. Well, not with barbed wire and stuff, but I used to do attention seeking, fucking beating myself up on stupid stunts and stuff when I was either drunk or, even more embarrassingly, sober. This guy, definitely sober. His brain might be drunk on something, but he seems sober to me. But I used to do stupid shit like this. Like, we had there was one night where we were playing Staple Roulette. Don't know if anyone knows what Staple Roulette is. You probably most likely don't, because you are more than likely a smart person. But we used to get a stapler and we'd open it up, you know, like the way you can just split in two to open up the gun part. And we'd spin the stapler, and whatever end of the stapler would land on you, or the point of the stapler would land on you, you had to pick up the stapler and staple yourself in the arm. It's the stupidest shit ever. But we started upgrading what that game was. I lost every time. And hence why we upgraded it. Because they were sick of watching me staple myself for a while. They were like, let's see what else we can add to this. So I'd got one end of the... So I'd staple myself in the arm. And I'd pull out one end of the staple and have it sticking up. And we had one of those electric fly swatters. So it looks like a tennis racket. But in the inside of the tennis racket wires, there's like electrical cables. Well, not cables. They're wires with electrical current going through them to swat and kill flies instantly. And this is so retarded. I'd get one bit of the staple and I'd stick it to the wire with the electrical current to the end of the staple, and you would feel the electric shock go the whole way up my body. And most people listening to this probably like, that's why you can't spell. I'm like, no, I was born like that first. Only people who can't spell do stunts like that. Then we get like talking about the ram to the nuts. The Asian dudes with the ram to the nuts. We got like a swing, and we tie a log to it, and we just swing it, hit me in the nuts. Set my pubes on fire. That shit burns very quick, surprisingly. Eat candle wax while the candle is lit. Just barbaric, stupid stuff. I'll try and find those clips for next week's episode. They're definitely on Facebook somewhere. I remember years ago one of my mates posting it up. I'll try and find them. And I'll react to them. But it's the dumbest shit of all time. I'm this dude. I honestly, I know exactly where this guy is coming from. This is what my YouTube channel would have been when I was 16. So if you're at home going, I'm criticizing this dude, I'm not. I'm relating to him. We're one and the same. So I'll try and do the translation again. This is Superhuman Show. I've been trying to do a front flip. Front flip into the table and chairs. I'm making up shit as I'm going on. Cheese grater, barbed wire, steel chairs.
This is for juggalos and juggalettes.
This for the juggalos and juggalettes. Hope you like it.
Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it.
I will try it at home. When this goes to shit, this is the next thing I'm doing.
Whoa, whoa!
Whoa, whoa!
Ah!
I'd love to make like a web series based on a dude like this. Well, based on a dude like me, but take heavy inspiration from this dude.
Ah, fuck!
This shit!
Whoop, whoop!
Whoop whoop!
Ah, shit! Fuck! Fuck! My back! God damn it! Fucking cut it! My back!
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love that dude. Please, if anyone is watching this show, go and send this guy some love. Like his videos, subscribe to him. Do whatever you can to get this guy a little bit more eyes on him. Get the guy to try and make a living off this shit, because this is the best stuff. He's putting his life on the line for our entertainment, and I appreciate that so much. So please go and send this guy some love. Superhuman is his channel. Space between two words. Both words. Space between two words. But please go and if you're subscribed to me and you like my videos, go and send this guy some love. You don't even have to like this video. Don't even go and like this video. Go like his. This guy deserves it. And I do actually hope he is going to be in AEW, because the guy is obviously got inspired from like the old ECW days and the Extreme Rules of the Attitude Era in WWE. So I hope he makes it where he wants to make it. But this guy is just so funny. So funny. Send him some love. Oh yeah, I should mention, it's starting to rain again. Obviously I'm recording in my bedroom. Can't remember if I said this at the start of the video. But it's been thunder and lightning all day today. The weather is bipolar in Ireland anyway, but today's been crazy. We've had sun, we've had rain, we've had hail, and we've had thunder and lightning. And I don't know why I'm explaining this to everybody, because everyone who's watching this show so far are from Carlow. Yeah, so if you hear rain and shit like that on the microphone, Sorry, but I'm still recording in my bedroom. It most likely will be heard if it starts thunder and lightning again. So that's it for the pain game. I'm going to give them all names now because I forgot to do it yet again. So the first one I'm going to call Ram to the Nuts. Second one I'm going to call Evil Knievel. And then that one I'm just going to call Whoop Whoop. Simples. So apologies for that. I had to stop there to leak the spuds. Moving on with Virgin News. Not that anyone needed to know the information as to why I cut the video there, but sharing too much on this podcast seems to be going well for me. Only on this podcast, not in real life. It's going terribly. Spit all over the microphone, John. Well done. Moving on with Virgin News. First news segment we have today, we have the trailer for Jackass 4. Look, when I first heard about Jackass 4 coming out, I was a bit like, oh, God. Because all the guys, they're like, Knoxville is just 50. I think he's 49. Steve-O is not that far behind him. He's definitely in his 40s. I think the entire cast are in their 40s. Maybe one or two are not yet. There might be like 39 or something like that. And then what made me even more skeptical about it was the fact that I heard that they were bringing on new cast members. I was like, oh, God. Like, what makes Jackass so good is not just the stunts, it's actually the cast themselves. They might not all be the best friends ever, but there is a camaraderie. Did I say that word right? Camaraderie? That's the way you say it, not the way I said it before. But we're going to forget about it. But there is a camaraderie between them all that that's what amplifies the fun in that show, or in the show and the film, more so as the films. But then I seen the trailer and mainly why I was worried about the old is because I didn't think that they'd be able to do a lot more stunts. Then I heard they had new cast members, and I was like, oh fucking hell, they're just gonna be standing around reacting to stunts. And boy, was I wrong! Holy shit! Some of the stunts in that look fucking ridiculous. It's probably going to be the best one yet. I find with the Jackass movies, they always beat one another. They always get better. But my favorite Jackass movies are the .5s, where they have like the extra stunts that you don't see in the actual film, and then they have like them talking about the stunts off camera, like even get words from Jeff Tremaine, the director. And I always prefer those films because I find them funnier, and I love them talking about the stunts as well, not just seeing the stunt. I think the movie is just like stunt after stunt after stunt after stunt after stunt, and they're so funny, but it's always funnier when you get the bit of commentary from them as well. But yeah, I think people's favorite movie though is probably Jackass 2. I can't disagree with them, but I do think 3.5 is my favorite out of all of them. And then I would go 2.5, then 3, then 2. I just like the stunts in the second one are definitely the maddest, but I think the third one is an overall funnier one. Really looking forward to this film. It looks so fucking stupid. I don't know if any of you seen the clip that Steve-O released. There's a new cast member called Poopies, which is just the most jackass name I've ever heard in my life. Hi guys, my name is Poopies. But for Shark Week, they decided to do a stunt with Jackass. And it was Steve-O off the back of a boat, jet skiing, but they had chummed the waters. And for people who don't know what chumming in the water is, they basically get like fish guts and blood, and they fill buckets up with it, and they fucking into the water behind. It's to lure sharks. People would have done it for fishing sharks, which is so stupid to me, but a lot of them do it for shark diving, like when they go into cages and stuff like that, and they're the sea sharks. That's why they would chum the waters. It's extremely dangerous to do, especially for idiots like Steve-O. Yeah, I did. But they chummed the waters, and one of the guys, he decided to take the reins. He was dressed as the Fonz for some reason from Happy Days. and he fell, and a shark nearly bit his entire hand off. He done a fucking whole video on it of him crying, talking about the scenario. It is so dramatic. The rest of them are pissing themselves laughing, and it keeps cutting back to this guy Poop. He's going, I thought I almost died, but I was seeing the light, and I was talking to my dad, and all this shit. And then it cuts back to Jeff Tremaine and fucking Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O, and they're like, this thing's gonna make him so fucking famous, dude. And he's not wrong. This has already made Poopy's more famous than when the film came out. But I'm really looking forward to it. I love those movies. I think they're the stupidest things on the planet, but stupid is what stupid does. Next up, we have Batman has been caught on the new Flash film. I know people might be thinking at the minute going, Sean, you talked about this in the first episode. And I'm like, nope, this is Batflick. So there's been the Batflick Batman suit has been caught on the new Flash film with a weird fucking, do you know, like in The Dark Knight they had the tumbler bike? I can't remember what they actually end up naming the bike version of it. The tumbler is the Batmobile, for people that don't know. They have their own version of it in this now, which looks even more impractical than the bike. Like, how does he turn on that fucking thing? It's so stupid. I think it looks cool, don't get me wrong. I love it. It looks cool. But it just looks so impractical. A lot of people think it's Ben Affleck's Batman. I tend to agree with them. However, I have a bit of a theory for it. Because this is Flashpoint, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne as the Flashpoint Batman, who is bad. Well, he's not bad. He's kind of good. In the Flashpoint universe, I can't remember what Earth it is. I think it's like Earth 2 or something like that. Instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying, Bruce Wayne dies. And Thomas Wayne takes the mantle of Batman. You'll probably have seen pictures of this Batman all over the place with the red eyes, and he's the red circle around the bat symbol. But Martha Wayne, who is Batman's mother, she becomes the Joker in that universe. I can't remember the actress's name at the minute, but she plays Maggie in The Walking Dead. Both Jeffrey Dean Morgan and her were casted in Batman v Superman, and they're at the start of the film, the opening sequence, seeing Batman's parents die yet again for the 1000th time. I wouldn't be surprised personally if this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Batman. Well, obviously, I should mention as well, the pictures are of Ben Affleck's Batman suit, but it's a stuntman, obviously. It's not Ben Affleck. So that's why I'm saying that this could actually be a different Batman, especially because it's Flashpoint. The Flashpoint storyline where, like, if in case people have missed it as well, Flash has time travel to an alternate universe in the DC. That's why Michael Keaton's Batman is in this, and Supergirl is in this. Be interesting to see. I'd be surprised if Ben Affleck comes back, to be honest. There's another story that I'm going to talk about later on with DC, about DC as well. That just makes this whole thing confusing because you have the Joker films, with Joker 2 is in. That's my next story as well, but I'll just bring it into this one. That has been brought onto pre-production now. But that is a completely separate universe from the Justice League movies and this movie, the Flash movie. Has nothing to do with it. You also have Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' Batman. Matt Reeves, as I mentioned before, directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. All the 8 movies. He loves monkeys for some reason. But he directed all that trilogy. He's now directing his new Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. I'm super excited for it. But now you have Michael Keaton as Batman as well, his return to Batman. and you either have Ben Affleck or Jeffrey Dean Morgan as another Batman. To be honest, we're getting a bit watered down here. This really shows that I think DC don't know what they're doing. They are just sending us out more and more stuff. It's kind of confusing to see what ties into what now. This is what I was saying. They're trying to do catch up with Marvel, but they're doing it in the worst way possible. See, Marvel are allowed to do the multiverse now, where you have even fucking Natalie Portman is going to be the next Thor in the new Thor movie, as well as Chris Hemsworth, and I think that is tied in with the multiverse. And it's in the comics as well, where Jane Foster does become the Mighty Thor. They're allowed to do that because they've done their original run. They're allowed to do multiple heroes now. Where DC are just... It makes sense for the Flash movie, don't get me wrong, because it's alternate dimensions and alternate universes and all that stuff. That makes sense. But if we're going to continue with Ben Affleck Batman, what happens to Patterson's Batman? I know they're not in the same universe, but you're really confusing the audience. I get it, because I'm a nerd. I'm interested into this shit. I'm interested into like the behind the scenes of this shit as well. But for me, if I was just a regular audience member going to the cinema, I'd be like, who the fuck is this Batman now? Where did Ben Affleck go with his bum chin? But yeah, it's pretty confusing. To be honest, I do hope, not just because it's in the Flashpoint comic book, I think comic book movies are gone well past of stuff for going, well, that's not in the comics. They're gone well past that stage now. But I do think for like continuity wise, because I think Ben Affleck is done as Batman. That's just from what he said the last time. The criticism of the Snyder Cut might have changed his mind since then to return as the mantle as Batman. But look, I'd much rather the Jeffrey Dean Morgan one for this movie, because you have Michael Keaton again, Ben Affleck, and Patterson, and they're all films going on at the same time. It just makes no sense to me. But yeah, look, all you can do is hope that it's going to be good. I can't wait for Matt Reeves' Batman. I wish that was the only one that was going on at the minute. Even though I'm worried about the reshoots, I still have all the hope in the world for it. Matt Reeves is a very good director, and the cast are outstanding in that film. So let's just hope. Fingers crossed. Next, we have Space Jam 3 in the talks already. I haven't seen Space Jam 2 yet. The LeBron James version. It's supposed to be very good. I heard it's very like Ready Player One, though, the way they have a lot of characters in it from other things. Even Rick and Morty make an appearance in it, which is kind of surprising for me, because Space Jam is a kid's show. Rick and Morty is 100% not. But I always do that as well. I should do a supercut at some stage of me like going, but there's been a few times I caught myself as well watching back the podcasts where I go, but and the can's empty, and you put it down and you just hear the fucking emptiness of the can echoing through it. I'll definitely do a supercut of that at some stage. Might do it for this one. Don't know if I'll have the time, but I'll definitely do a supercut of that at some time. But yeah, Space Jam 3, the director Malcolm D. Lee has come out with his idea of what he think it might be. And it's The Rock is what he's looking at. Now, this is not set in stone. This is an idea. But normally when they announce shit like that, it's not just the director acting on a whim, because there's a huge studio behind that, and you can't just bring out an actor's name like that. This is them ballparking an idea. And when you really look at it, can you do basketball for the next Space Jam? You've done it twice now. What else can you do? Can you do baseball? Can you do American football? What other sport can you do in it? But what I think would be a good aspect for it, if you do get The Rock, would be wrestling. I think that'd be so funny for the Looney Tunes. Especially like they can do the cartoon hammers and hit each other and stuff like that. It's just it's a different change of scenery for it as well. Especially if you have The Rock. Like, yeah, they remember like they're just picking out like sports athletes, and as much of like wrestling isn't a sport, it's not a competitive sport. The people who are involved in wrestling are definitely athletes. Like the stuff they do week in, week out is insane. The fact that they do it and they can continue to do it with injuries and shit like that is just mind-boggling to me. And The Rock is definitely one that is the best of all time. If not The Rock, John Cena. Personally, I think John Cena will be a better pick because Dwayne is just doing so much shit now. He's the highest paid actor in the world. And there's no mistake for that because he brings in the biggest box office. Any film he's in, even if it was fucking back in the day, fucking G.I. Joe Retaliation. No one remembers that movie. As I've said it, they're trying to figure what the fuck is that shit. Huge box office just because Dwayne was in it. If they're going to go for Looney Tunes, I do think John Cena can actually be a huge box office draw, especially with the new Fast and Furious film and Suicide Squad that's coming out on the 30th. I think it's an interesting idea, but I think it's just ballparking. I think they're trying to get an audience read on a change of it. Look, it's a kids' movie. I don't think they give a fuck about what sport's in it. Once it's the Looney Tunes and some sports star, that's the only thing you need for that type of movie. Moving on, back to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is no longer returning for a Fast and Furious movie. Now, does this mean a Hobbs and Shaw film? Yes, it's a Fast and Furious film. He's not returning back to them. There's not much he can do with them anymore. I think he wants to see himself doing more serious type roles, even though his serious type roles are just working with Disney and fucking DC. Like it's, he has that film. Oh, what was it called? Jungle Adventures or some shit like that. It's basically based off the fucking I'll put the name up like last week. Every time I forgot something, I'll just put it up. It was the first ride in Disneyland. They made, is it Jungle River or something like that? I think Jungle River is the name of it, or River Jungle. Stop trying to fucking dig your way out of this one, Sean. You can't remember the name. Move on. But yeah, he had that film come out with Disney. It seemed to be well received. But he also has Black Adam coming out that I mentioned a few weeks back as well. But I was doing some research on Fast and Furious, and it's honestly hilarious what I found out about it. Like, everyone has heard that there's beef between Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I didn't do the M that time. I keep going to say but M now. I'm going to have to do it, just get out of the way. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel had a bit of beef. No one knew why for ages. There was like smack talk over Twitter between one another. But for me, I was just like, oh, that's just the fucking production team trying to get them to get at each other's throats for the movies because it makes it more interesting. It sells more tickets and shit like that. But it goes way deeper than that. This shit is embarrassing. Fucking. So, basically, you know, in the Fast and Furious movies, there's fighting in it. But when they're choreographing the fights, in the actors' contracts, this is especially for Dwayne. When Dwayne entered the Fast and Furious movies, this is when this started to exist. But Vin Diesel got his contract changed straight away as soon as Dwayne started fucking dictating how the fight scene should go. Because he's like, but this is family, and I'm the lead. I got to dictate what I want to do as well. But it's basically like, you can't hit Dwayne more times than he hits you. So, and you can't push him down a certain amount of times, and you can't get the upper hand on him a certain amount of times. Even the way he falls, if he falls back, he has to get up straight away, so it makes him look tough. This isn't just for his character in the Fast and Furious films. This is to make him look tough in other action roles as well. Now, I don't know about his contract in other action films, like if he can get beaten up and stuff like that. But this fight, this contract of how many times he could be punched, how many times he could be pushed, basically, I'll put it as simple terms as this. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's contract dictates that in a fight scene, he has to give it as good as he gets. So he can never get like the upper hand. Like if the fight stops, something in the environment has to stop the fight. It's not like, he gets knocked out or he gets stabbed or he gets pushed off a building. And I know you could say like, but sure, in Hobbs and Shaw, Idris Elba kicks the shit out of him and Jason Statham. It's like, yeah, but they had like the thing of him being a superhuman android cyborg person that he could beat the shit out. And so they were just like, he's not human, so he can kick the shit out of Dwayne. That makes sense. But if he's fighting Vin Diesel, and this is, I think it was Fast 5 is the first film with him in it, where he's the cop chasing Vin Diesel. It might be in Fast Furious 6, not too sure, can't remember. But that's when the contract was made, was for their first fight, where they're slamming each other into walls. Like literally, the second Dwayne gets pushed into a wall, he pushes Vin Diesel into the opposing wall. And this is what started the beef between the two of them. They couldn't agree on like, he's hit me in the face, so I hit him in the face now. And this goes down to the editing bay as well. So when the fight is being edited, both of them are in the editing bay, and they're dictating to the director, the cinematographer, and the editor, and the assistant director, producers, going, he's hit me more times than the contract's allowed. Like, it's just so embarrassing. It's pretend fighting, dudes. It's the ultimate pretend fighting. I know you came from WWE, which is pretend fighting, but this is even more pretend fight. Like, what the fuck? This shit is so cringy. This is what started their fucking feud. It's so cringy. It's like when you're a kid and you're fighting with your mates. Like, play fighting. Like, you're pretending to be Superman or Batman and stuff like that. It's like, I got kryptonite. No, you can't do that. Because I'm Superman, you can't do that. You're the bad guy. Like, but I got kryptonite. It's like, no. You can't do that. It's not fair. Mom! He's got kryptonite again. Fucking big, baldy head, sweaty children. But I just thought that was a funny story. Then we got Dune. The Dune trailer released as well. It released a few months back as well, the first trailer, but now they have a second one. And they have 6 minutes, a 6-minute trailer as well. A lot of people won't know what Dune is. I'm actually just going to get the cast up as well, just to read them all out to you, because it's probably one of the biggest casts in a movie going around. I know there's Suicide Squad as well, but that doesn't really count. You only have like 2 or 3 proper famous people in it, and even at that, they're not proper A-listers. But the Dune movie cast list is ridiculous. So I'll just explain what Dune is. Dune is a book that was written in 1963, I believe. It's basically the sci-fi book that inspired almost every sci-fi movie ever. Star Wars, fucking Blade Runner. The list goes on to how many sci-fi movies this has started. George Lucas has even said this is what has made him inspired to make sci-fi themed films and stories, is down to reading this book. And I'm just going to read out some of the list of people who are casted in this. Timothy Chalamet is the lead in the film. We have Zendaya, Smoke Show. Rebecca Ferguson, who is in I don't know if anyone's seen it. It was the sequel to oh my god, why did I bring it up? Because my brain just went blank. Moving on. We have Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård, who is the father of Bill Skarsgård, who is the who plays Pennywise in It, but he's also in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in fucking Thor as well. Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin. The list goes on and on of how good of a cast this is, and I do think it's, for a lot of people, it'd be a weird movie. I think it could be like Blade Runner 2047, in the sense that it could be a miss for a lot of people because they don't know what it is. It doesn't have Marvel or DC or Disney attached to it, so they're like, oh, what the fuck is that shit? But I think it's probably going to be one of the best movies made in the last 10 years, hopefully, just by judging by the way the film looks in the trailer, the tone and stuff like that, and knowing what the background of the story of the film is. I think it's going to be a masterpiece. Hopefully. You can take my word for it if it's not. But super stoked for that film. It looks really fucking good. We had Ghostbusters trailer release as well. I'm going to be really short on this one because, to be honest, I don't know what to think of it. It looks like a Stranger Things copy, and that's just not because the kid from Stranger Things is in it. And one of the girls from Haunting Hill House is in it as well. Look, my problem is with the Ghostbusters, you can try and do a Stranger Things carbon copy and attach Paul Rudd to it, and Paul Rudd is good in fucking everything he does. But I don't think it will work. The reason why, and this is what I can't get my head around with producers and stuff like that, the reason why Ghostbusters were so good is because of the cast. The film is, for at the time, a really good action movie, action comedy and stuff like that. But it's so good because of the cast, because you have Bill Murray, you have Dan Aykroyd. You don't really need to make that film again. Or I don't think a reboot will work. I know they tried to do it with the all-female cast. And in fairness, for an all-female cast, they had a really good cast. All the girls from SNL. But the film stunk because as much as those girls are good friends in real life and they all actually started their careers together, the chemistry of what those characters were like, oh, it's a carbon copy of something that's not that good, or is not as good as the original. Like, you can't top Bill Murray. Bill Murray's just one of a kind. And if you didn't have his dry humor in the original Ghostbuster movies and Dan Aykroyd being super fucking weird, I don't think the film works. It's why they never wanted to do a third one. Is because they were like, we done it. We done two of them. Can't do a third because people just get sick of it. We're older now. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, do a reboot, but it's not going to be as good as the original. That's just me being pessimistic on the movie. I think it could be good. It could have the same outcome as It and Stranger Things. But for me, the comedy in Ghostbusters wasn't just, oh, the big giant marshmallow man and the ghouls going around scaring everyone. It was the reaction of those Ghostbusters and the chemistry between all four. Bill Murray even said it himself. It was on the day the trailer released. Bill Murray commented on it was Ghostbusters Day, and he was like, "What the fuck is that?" I'll play the clip here.
Ghostbusters Day? Is this like a national thing? What the hell? What does that mean, Ghostbusters Day?
And I just thought it was fucking hilarious. I know Dan Aykroyd's voice is heard at the end of the trailer, but how long is he going to be in the movie? I don't know. I never really liked Dan Aykroyd by himself anyway. He's just fucking hilarious, bouncing off Bill Murray, because the both of them came from SNL and shit like that. But look, not too stoked for the movie. It could be good. Paul Rudd is in it, which is always a good thing. He's a great actor and he's so funny. Okay, so moving on, we have Michael B. Jordan is producing a Black Superman TV show with HBO Max. I think it's a really cool idea. There is a confusing aspect to it, and this is what I'm going to bring back to what I said earlier about DC, which is making everything so fucking confusing. So I'll explain what Black Superman is to a lot of people that don't know. We have Val Zod, who is the black version of Superman. He comes from an alternate universe, just like the Flashpoint Batman that I explained earlier. Basically, when he sends Kal-El, or Jor-El sends Kal-El, super cool names, by the way, dudes. Jor-El is Superman's dad, original dad, and Kal-El is Clark Kent. It's his space name, basically. He sends the two of them to Earth and Supergirl. But in this universe, Kal-El, he stays as Kal-El, but he joins Darkseid and becomes the Black Superman, and he becomes a henchman for Darkseid, and he becomes evil. And then you have Val Zod, who is the Black Superman, and he is basically the the good version of Superman in that universe. The comic books of him are actually really interesting. I've been reading a few of them lately, and they're really, really good. I know we've seen so many evil versions of Superman lately with The Boys, and then you have Injustice as well. And then in Batman v Superman, they showed the Darkseid version of Superman as well. That is kind of an old trope. I don't know what they're going to do with the TV show. And I think, in contrast, like if you're going to keep Henry Cavill as Superman, I think doing a TV show with HBO Max is the right way to do this Superman. So we don't have two Superman movies going at the same time, because that's what's going to happen if they do a Black Superman movie and the Henry Cavill Superman movies. They'll be going at the same time going, what will we name these films? Will we keep Henry Cavill's one, Man of Steel 2? And will we keep the Black Superman Superman? Or what do we do with that? But this is what making it confusing as well, because Michael B. Jordan is also producing a film with a Black Superman movie with J.J. Abrams. Now, I don't know if these are going to go on the same time. Michael B. Jordan has already said that he's not playing the Superman in the J.J. Abrams one. He hasn't confirmed if he's playing Superman in the HBO Max show. I think he's a brilliant cast, to be honest. If he is going to be the Black Superman, I think he's fantastic. Like I said last week with the Black Panther, I think he's probably one of the best action actors going, especially in Creed. He's fantastic in both movies. But I think it's confusing to do a film and a TV show, especially if Michael B. Jordan is playing the TV version of the Superman. Now, he might not be. He might just be producing the two, and the film could come after the success of the show, or vice versa. But the show has been confirmed by HBO Max, so if they're doing two completely different Black Superman, it's like I said earlier with Batman. Are we oversaturating characters now, where we're like, there's too many of the one character to follow? I'd much rather if they done... I hope that they do the HBO version of it first, and then release the movie, and that's like the sequel to the show. That would be really cool. It would be the first time it's ever done. But I hope they don't do two Black Supermen and Henry Cavill, because I do think we'll see Henry Cavill as well. I'd rather them just stick to one. If we're going to do Black Superman, let's just do Black Superman. but let's not do 2 Black Supermen and Henry Cavill, because it just makes no sense. But it might just be the one Black Superman. I wouldn't mind seeing a film where it's like Spider-Man, multiple Supermen. I think that'd be cool because you have the Red Omega Superman as well. But look, I just think it's a confusing thing that DC's doing lately with their lineup, and it looks like they're running around like a headless chicken, to be honest. It's not the best of news. Just like what I was saying with the Black Panther film, it seems like a major red flag to be releasing stuff that is not set in stone. Like the fact that they're filming Black Panther and they're still doing the script is very confusing to me. Yeah, so that's it for Virgin News. What did I do this weekend? So I went out and I went for a few drinks with the boys, as always, and then we came back and watched the UFC. I made an absolute show of myself in the off license yet again. To make it worse, it was one of my best friend's dads were working there that night, and he knows me, and he took the absolute piss out of me for doing this. I went in and I asked for 20 bottles of Corona. And he was like, "Oh, how are you, Sean? How's it going?" And stuff like that. I was like, well, just the story. He was, "Can 20 bottles of Corona?" He was like, "Yeah, no bothers. I'll have to give it to you in 2 boxes, though." So I stood there very confused for a few minutes, wouldn't I? Do over-exaggerate for a few seconds. I looked around and I was like, 2 boxes. So, 40 bottles? And he looked at me and I was like, "Oh, Lord. No, you fucking idiot. I have to give you 2 bottles of 12. Oh, he took the absolute piss out of me. And it was well deserved. It was a fucking gobshite. And I struggled fucking walking out. And I was like, "Oh, but then I'll have to carry 2 boxes." And he was like, "Yeah. Sure, if you're asking for 20, we're going to have to carry the 20 anyway." I'm just such a fucking moron. Then I went back and watched the UFC. TJ Dillashaw's return. Daddy's home. I thought it was a good win for TJ, to be honest. Very fucking hard fight for him. Corey Sandhagen fucking pieced him. I think Corey won the fight, but I do think TJ won the sport and the match on the judging. I definitely had him 3-2. I could understand an argument for 4-1, but I do think it was not a robbery. I don't think on judging wise it was close, but I do think on the damage level, Corey absolutely destroyed TJ. Like, TJ did say he had an injury coming into the fight with his knee already. Got my hair cut today as well. I hate getting my hair cut, as you can probably see, because I have a stupid fucking mullet on me, but I love them. I love rocking the mullet. She can't wear Theo Von merch without having a mullet. What is it when, like, a hairdresser or a barber, they're going to cut your fringe, and they show you like this much. I'm like, "Is that okay, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then they cut it off, and then it's like a mile gone off your fucking forehead. You're like, "Oh, my forehead's fucking huge. No, thank you. Glue it back on, please." Oh, I was at first when I walked out there, I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, what have I done?" Because I've been cutting my own hair for the last couple of weeks. Not scissors cutting it though, I don't know how to do it, so I had to get that done. Had to get that tidied up a little bit. The second he cut my fringe, I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake. You could land a fucking spaceship on that bad boy." I look like fucking Megamind with fucking 80s hairdo. But yeah, no, I love the mullet. I'm gonna keep it going. I don't know if I'll get it permed. I think it'd be pretty fucking dope looking if I permed it. Got like with the proper curls, like I look like a proper metalhead. Looking like I'd be fucking from Guns N' Roses back in the day, in the 80s. I forgot to do the movie pick of the week. Look, it's too long now, too far away from Virgin News, but I should mention that last week I absolutely butchered the name of the movie. Kept calling it Captain Peanut Butter Falcon. I don't know why. I think that's his wrestler name in the film. Maybe. But the film's called Peanut Butter Falcon. Not Captain Peanut Butter Falcon. I'm such a fucking moron when I do this podcast. It's like, it's so hard to do stuff off the cuff. It's really difficult. So, like, when I'm doing stuff off the cuff, it's so easy to forget and fuck up shit. And embarrass yourself. But it's entertaining, I suppose, when I do it. I'm really loving, like I said at the start of the podcast, really loving doing these podcasts. I think they're really fun to do. I can only get better at them as well. Feel a lot more comfortable on camera. And it is a big confidence booster. It, like, on the outside, like, not just fucking doing the podcast. Like, not just, I'm getting comfortable on camera, so I'm being more confident. It's outside, doing other shit that I'm more confident in now. More confident in myself. It really goes to show that the therapy is helping as well. I haven't done a therapy session in a while because I was told to go and try and challenge myself by myself for a while, because I was doing it every week, and she recommended me taking a break for a while from doing therapy because I was making really good progress. And to be honest, I feel as though I am. I feel as though I am. Like I said, it's like a fucking second language to me, English. But yeah, no, and that's not saying that it's perfect. It definitely isn't. There's still some aspects that I'm finding difficulty with, like still getting roped into some arguments that it's hard to pull away from and then take a few breaths and then back as good as new. One thing that will always piss me off is when I can smell the bacon and cabbage being made. Oh, we're having medieval dinners. Huh? Oh, you mean the dish that you can find the recipe for in the Book of Kells? Delicious! What was it called? Cooking. Wait till you see this now. I can't find the fucking name for it. But you know when you go, like, on a school tour in Ireland, you go to the fucking Viking Centre in, is it Waterford? Yeah, in Waterford. Where else would it be? Obviously Waterford. And at the end of the tour, they bring you to the fucking hole in the ground with the fucking boiling water and the fucking hot rocks. It takes like 6 hours to cook the ham in. Oh, you mean the dish that you could cook in the ground? Yeah, dude. I can't wait for dinner. Cabbage fucking stinks, man. Fucking Bronze Age dinners. What are we having tomorrow? Stew? Oh! A peasant meal from the medieval ages? Can't wait. Here's an idea. Why don't we upgrade the menu? Oh, it's so petty to be angry about. So petty. Yeah, I've been watching Love Island as well, and Casa Moraine is starting, and things are getting very fucking interesting. I'm gonna leave talking about Love Island this week until next week when stupid sentence as well. I'm gonna leave talking about it on this episode until next week, until more stuff has happened. I think it'll be funnier then. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. I'm really happy with the way the podcast is going. I know I've said this almost after every episode, but I am tremendously happy the way things are going. Mental health is doing really well. Physical health's not doing the best. I still haven't hit the gym yet. I'm waiting for one of the gyms to open in Carlow. I think a fresh start, fresh place to go into is what I need. Just a new book, like a new book. What am I on about? I'm honestly a babbling idiot on this podcast, but I think that's what makes it entertaining. I'm really looking forward to I know I haven't gone yet, but I am genuinely looking forward to starting at the gym. I put on a heaps amount of weight, so losing that all will be, and it's not going to be that hard to lose all the weight. The second I start going to the gym, I see my problem is I can't diet unless I'm working towards something, and if I'm not going to the gym, I'm just not going to diet. And I'm not going to do the thing of, I need to diet before I go to the gym. No, that just sends me back to square one yet again, because like I have a big huge last fucking binge meal of fatness. Tits go up 2 sizes and go, 2 days I'm going to eat healthy, and then I expect to do it for the rest of the week, and like on the second day of diet I'm like, nope, how about we eat 5 fucking chocolate bars? So I'm gonna wait until I'm actually in the gym so I can be motivated to do all that shit. And it won't take me long to do it, to be honest. It really won't. It didn't take me long to lose in the first place. It was just hard work and determination, and I know that I can be determined enough to do it again. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to leave you with the little gangster this week again. I love this little dude, Hasbullah. He's my favourite person on the earth. I think personally, if I had him here, I'd make him dress up like a leprechaun, and I would too. And I pretend he's my dad, and we just freak, or I'm his dad. Actually, it'd be funnier if he was my dad. I was like, no, the older the leprechaun is, the younger they look. And then we just freak people out around the town with pots of gold. Get some big powerful light or something like that. He can probably grant wishes anyway. So I'll just get him to, I'll wish upon a rainbow, and a rainbow will appear. And then we'll just freak people out, making them think they won the lottery and some shit. But anyway, I've been your host. Why did I do it again? Last episode was bad enough with me trying to do this shit. Going, I've been your host. I've been your host, Johnny Andrews. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. As always, please like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Go follow my Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. And let's try and grow these numbers so I can start making a bit of dash. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and peace and love.
This extraordinary creature is half blind, half deaf, and this is just about as fast as it can move.
Strictly professional.
Oh, he's a man. He had a beard.
Dragon man. Try anything once.
The safe word will be whiskey.
Spell red.
L-S-T-E-R.
Would you like a sweetie?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everything that goes up must come down.